Whether you're running your photography business as a full-time business, a side hustle, or starting a business, it can be super overwhelming. But I want you to think less about work ethic, productivity, what you could be doing more of, and instead take a step back and think about what systems you can put in place to support your goal and where you want to get. Now, I realize that sounds really vague, so I'm going to walk you through some examples of what that looks like and how you can do that for yourself so that you can stop feeling overwhelmed with building a photography business and focus on the parts that you love and how you can build your business in a way that fits your lifestyle and goals are. Because not everybody's goal in photography is to be a full-time photographer. We have families, other jobs, other responsibilities and things that we love to do. So you want to be able to build a business that fits your life, not make your life fit your business. So instead of thinking about how can I do more, what should I be doing, we're going to think about systems. So here's an example. We're going to start with social media because social media is a huge thing for photography, but it's the thing I hear the most that photographers feel overwhelmed with or don't really know where to start or what to do or how to grow on social media. So we're going to talk about, instead of how to be more productive, how to build systems to support you in that. So in order to do that, we need to talk about what your barriers are. There's so many barriers when it comes to social media, and you could have more than one. Is your barrier creating the content? Fear of posting? Having enough time to create the content that you want? Or is it just the basic understanding and knowledge you feel you need to have? Whether it's one of those or something else, instead of thinking, I just have to do it, take a step back, identify the barrier, and then think of the system that can support you to get there. So I'm going to give you some actual tangible examples you can use to do this. If a barrier for you is how to create content or what you should be creating or talking about, of course, as photographers, it's easy to post the photos we've taken. But if you're watching this video, you probably want to be doing a little bit more to grow your account and set yourself apart from other photographers. You probably have a ton of content. Your phone is probably full of content, but you've either forgotten you took it or you don't realize it's content. So again, that's not a productivity or a work ethic issue, that's a systems issue. So you need to create a system to organize the content you already have to make it easier when you sit down to post something to be able to create what you want to create. So from a systems perspective, what that could look like is once a week or whenever you have time, sit down and look at the content that you've taken for that week, or even go back. If you're just starting out, go back and look at past content and put it in a folder on your phone. And then as you're doing that and you're seeing content, you're like, oh yeah, I took that photo, I took that behind the scenes video, put it in the folder, but then open up your notes app or old school, write with a pen and paper and actually write down the ideas. So if you're going through, you see a video and you're like, oh man, I could make this reel using this video, write that down. You don't have to make it right now, but just start creating a list of not just ideas of content you want to make, but ideas using the content you've already created. So then all of a sudden you have a content bank in a folder on your phone, but you also, in your notes app or written down somewhere, you have a list of ideas where the content is already created that you can pull from when you're struggling on what to post. So that becomes your system. It becomes part of your routine and something that you build into your schedule to support you in creating content. If your barrier is time, I get it. I'm a mom, I work a 9 to 5, have a family, I have a life outside photography. So think about systems like time blocking. Time blocking is where you look at your regular Monday to Sunday schedule, look at the time that you have available, write down all the tasks that you need to do for photography, whether it's social media, editing, connecting with clients, writing your emails, whatever it is, write down all those tasks. Look at your calendar, look at your schedule, look at the times you have available, whether it's when you put the kids to bed, you have a couple hours that you can dedicate, write that down. Then look at the things you want to be doing within the week. Write down how much time you think those should generally take you. Of course, there will be weeks where things take you longer, but in general, how long those things should take you, and then build them into your schedule. Actually go into your calendar and put 2 hours for editing Monday night from 8 to 10 p.m. If that's the time you have available. Maybe you have the morning, maybe you have when you put your kid down for a nap in the afternoon, but time block those tasks, the time you think it should take you, and then try and stick to it. You can adjust it as things change and you find this actually takes me longer, it doesn't quite take me as long, or as new tasks get added. But if you build that into your schedule, it gives you a framework and a structure to be able to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. If your barrier is fear, that is completely legitimate. I still have trouble. I'm taking this video right now. It's not going to be easy for me to just click publish. It's gotten a lot better, but it is not easy. It's not easy to put yourself, your thoughts, your voice, your life out there, whatever it is that you want to put out there and you feel comfortable with. It is scary. First of all, I am going to remind you that as a society, we are inundated with content. Nobody is paying that close attention to what you're doing. That could sound mean. I don't mean it to sound mean. People do care. But the amount of content we're looking at, we're not looking at it to criticize it. So as hard as it is, try and let that go. But in terms of a system to support you through that fear, write down your why you're doing this, why it's important to you, what your goal is, write it down and revisit it before you create content or post it and share it with the world. Another thing you can do if you want to be doing talking videos like this, but it's really hard, is ask a friend to help you. I'm just talking to my camera, but I could have somebody sitting here and be talking and having more of a conversation. If that helps you be more natural and have less fear, then do that. But build a system to support you and what you need to get past the fear and do it, because I promise it's worth it. If your barrier is knowledge, knowledge is a tough one when it comes to social media specifically and the photography business in general. There is so much you need to know or think you need to know. Sometimes it's like you don't even know what you don't know. Even knowing what you need to Google about building a photography business can be tough. Knowledge is abundant and it can be hard to know where to focus and what to do. If you find resources you love, revisit them weekly. Use your time blocking. Build that into your schedule. Revisit weekly. Study it. Look through Instagram Reels, YouTube videos, read some blogs, but actually take notes. It can be so helpful to just write down what you're learning, whether you go and revisit that or not. Just the act of taking the notes can really help. And if you set aside a certain amount of time a week to do that, that becomes the structure that helps you build your knowledge. To revisit what I said at the beginning, if you're thinking, how can I do more? How can I be more productive? How can I prove my worth? How can I improve my work ethic? Instead, I want you to think more broadly about the systems you can build to support you and focus on implementing those rather than just doing. If this was helpful for you in the context of social media, but you would like to learn more about editing, workflow, client booking systems, anything like that, let me know and I can do a video on that as well. I absolutely love talking about systems. I'm a systems nerd. I manage a marketing and communications team, and my main role is building systems to support my team and help them succeed in their job. So I absolutely love it. I love talking about it. I love helping other people with it. So if there's something that you are struggling with, there's something you're thinking, I need to be doing more of that, let me know what that is, and I can offer some advice and examples on how you could implement those to support you. Because again, the goal isn't to make your life fit your business, it's to build a business that fits your life.